Everyone. Now we are going to discuss about advisories from appropriate agencies. Unit 2, approaches to disaster risk reduction. The subject is disaster management. Disaster management structure. The system incorporates an all agencies approach that involves all level of government, numerous organizations and agencies as well as the community. Council is required under legislation to form a local disaster management group. This group is comprised of representatives from a number of agencies including emergency service, state council, police and commonwealth government, industry and the community. Here some organization structure from Ministry of Disaster Management MDM. There are 5 branches are there. National Council for Disaster Management NCDM, Department of Meteorology DOM, Disaster Management Center DMC and National Building Research Organization NBRO, and finally National Disaster Relief Center NDRC. So this all structure comes under Ministry of Disaster Management. So disaster management structure in our India. From the Prime Minister, Planning Commission and Cabinet Committee on Secretary in associating with NDMA. From the NDMA, there are 3 divisions: National Institute of Disaster Management and National Disaster Response Force, National Disaster Mitigation Resource Center. From under Cabinet Committee, Management of Natural Calamities and High Level Committee and also National Crisis Management Committee. These 4 committees are constituted Cabinet Committee. And here from the followed by Planning Committee, there will be a Ministry of Home Affairs and other ministers and department as well as armed forces. From all those things under Government of India. After this we have state or union territory government. From state and union territory government there will be a state disaster management authorities, Department of Home Affairs, ministers, Home Guard, Civil Defense, Police and Fire Service. From state we have the next one is district wise disaster management system, DDMA, District Disaster Management Authority, departments, Home Guard, Civil Defense, Police and Fire Service, local bodies authority like village administrative people. The Government of India, in recognition of the importance of disaster management as a national priority, has set up a high powered committee HPC is formed in August 1999 and also a national committee after the Gujarat earthquake 2001 for making recommendation on the preparation of disaster management plan and suggestion effective mitigation mechanisms. On 23 December 2005, the Government of India enhanced the Disaster Management Act, which envisaged the creation of the National Disaster Management Authority headed by the Prime Minister and State Disaster Management Authorities headed by respective Chief Ministers to separate and implement a holistic and integrated approach to disaster management in India. Next, the main organization is National Disaster Management Authority has been constituted under the National Management Authority in Disaster Management Act 2005. For some general structure in the NDMA, the chairman is main person, the Prime Minister of India, Vice Chairman is Cabinet Minister, 8 member with the status of ministers of state, skill and expert of the specialist are extensively used to address disaster related issues. Mostly the IAS people will be there. So what is the function of NDMA? So they'll approve the national plan, and they also approve plan prepared by the ministers or Department of Government of India in accordance with the national plan, lay down guidance to be followed by the state authorities in drawing up the state plan, coordinate the implementation of the policy and plan for disaster management, and they will recommend provision of fund for the purpose of mitigation. Finally, they provide such support to other countries affected by major disaster as may be determined by the central government. So there are two national level institutions, NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, and NEC, National Executive Committee. In state level also there are two institutions, State Disaster Management Authority SDMA and SEC, State Executive Committee. In district wise there are only one level institution, DDMA, District Disaster Management Authority. National Response Mechanism from Union Cabinet. There are two departments, National Crisis Management Committee and Agriculture Minister. From the both, the responsible person is Secretary of Agriculture. Under the Secretary of Agriculture, State Relief Commissioners, Central Relief Commissioner, Indian Meteorological Department, Central Water Commission CWC, and other department. From Central Relief Commissioner, there will be a crisis management group for planning of disaster management. Government of India Department for Disaster Management. So here we have several departments to act during and post disaster management. Armed Force from Ministry of Defence, Central Paramilitary Forces from Ministry of Home Affairs, International Response, Military of External Affairs, and some departments and ministries. 6 ministries are there. Number 1, Rural Development, Drinking Water Supply, Power, Telegram, Health and Urban, etc. Food and Public Distribution and Shipping, Surface Transport, Railway, Civil Aviation, Women and Child Development, Water Resource, Animal Husbandry, Indian Meteorological Department, IMD. And also some nodal agencies for disaster management, Flood, Ministry of Water Resource, and Cyclone, Indian Meteorological Department, and Earthquake, Indian Meteorological Department, Epidemic, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Avan Flu, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Environment, and also Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, Chemical Disaster, Ministry of Environmental and Forest, Industrial Disaster, Ministry of Labour, Rail Accident, Ministry of Railways, Air Accident, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Fire Accident, Ministry of Home Affairs, Nuclear Incident, Department of Atomic Energy, and Mine Disaster, the responsible nodal agency is Department of Mines. Central Sector Scheme for Disaster Management. So these are all the salient features. Human Resource Development, setting up of National Center for Disaster Management NCDM, setting up of disaster management faculties in all state level, programs for community participation and public awareness is very important, observing National Disaster Reduction Day, activities to achieve the goals and objectives of International Strategy for Disaster Reduction. Thank you. These are all the advisories from appropriate agencies. Thank you.